In a recent episode of Antiques Roadshow, Fiona Bruce and the team headed to Polesden Lacey in Surrey. An expert was left blown away after a guest brought in a stunning brooch that had been passed down to the family from her grandmother. The guest shared an emotional backstory that dated back to her grandmother's time in Poland before she was seized by the Red Army. The BBC expert inspected the jewellery. "Now, I'm looking at the branch in the form of a 6-rayed star. It's mounted in gold and set in silver. Through my lens, I see it's got a little mark on it, 56, which usually means Russian, and the star itself, which is a typical design of the end of the 19th century. The star gushed. It's set with a cluster of white stones, they are diamonds, and a combination of brilliant cut diamonds for the larger stones, and the 6 rays are almost like little chips," he explained. The TV specialist asked his guest, "What's the story behind the brooch?" Ruth Langsford opens up about debt struggles. "Start to panic," she began. "Okay, well, in 1939, 10 days after the Germans invaded Poland from the west, the Russians invaded from the east. They arrived at my grandmother's house where she lived with her mother, father and brother. They packed as many of their possessions as they could take and left." The owner of the brooch claimed her grandmother was 18 years old when they attempted to escape. Speaking about her grandmother, the lady revealed, "Her mother took a heavy cardigan and in the lining of the cardigan, she sews this brooch, inside. They were trying to reach my aunt's house in Warsaw, but on the route, they were arrested by the Red Army. They were accused of being spies and without trial or any evidence they were sentenced to 5 years hard labor in Siberia in Gulag," she told BBC viewers. The expert, in disbelief, remarked, 5 years of hard labor for doing nothing. After the family were caught, they were separated by gender, meaning her grandmother was separated from her father and brother. She said, "My grandmother never saw her father again, apart from a small glimpse when they were separated. For the next couple of years my grandmother and her mother were moved from camp to camp, all their possessions were stolen from them. But even with all the searches and the delousing that went on, the brooch survived in the cardigan my great-grandmother had. She would throw it down like it was a rag so no one paid any attention to it." In the scenes that followed, the guest confessed she would not sell the brooch as she will pass it down to her daughters. After listening to her story, the antique enthusiast pointed out, the brooch becomes totemic. The owner added, "It's the only thing left of their life in Poland before the war." When it came to the valuation, BBC viewers were left gobsmacked by the expert's price. He said, "I'm going to tell you because it's a Russian provenance set with diamonds, they're not big stones. It's worth £1,000, £1,500 but who cares?" He praised, "What it represents for me is something that is far beyond that, it transcends value, it is a piece that connects us with the extraordinary past and it's a privilege to handle it." Antiques Roadshow airs on BBC One on Sundays.